Hello everybody. In the last video session, we have understood about objectives and importance of management. We'll proceed to the next topic, that is nature of management. Nature of management. Basically, nature of management consists of three, that is management is an art, management as a science and management as a profession. In that, will understand management as an art. Let us understand what do you mean by art. The art is a skillful and personal application of existing knowledge to achieve desired results. It can be achieved through study, observation and experience. So, art in the sense everybody have a something different skills, and that skills will be personally applicable on the existing knowledge to achieve the desired goal. So one can develop their art by the study, observation and gaining the experience. There are some basic features of an art. Those features how can a manager can implement in the management. Let us understand the features of art. First one, existence of theoretical knowledge. Like art, a manager applies various theoretical knowledge in real situation to perform his function as a manager. So, art is totally a practical and a theoretical knowledge. So everybody should have some different kinds of the skill. That skill will be developed by the art. So same thing, when you can develop that art in practical, when you comes to an existing. So if you have the proper knowledge of theoretically, definitely practically you can achieve the art. Same thing, a manager should have the particular things that is in a theoretical knowledge. That theoretical knowledge has to comes into an action by practically. So first thing, the manager should know how to control. He or she has to design in proper way how to control the each and every aspect. Later they can achieve their desired goal. So for managers it must be existing of the theoretical knowledge what they have to do in the job. Personalized application. Some like art, management is a personalized skill. Every manager has his own way of managing the things, and people based on his or her knowledge and experience. So here, if you compare with one personality to the another personality, there will be the total different scales. The person X is expert in commanding, and Mr. Y is expert in directing, that is instructing. Mr. X will be having a quality of bossism. Okay, so only commanding, there is no directions how to do. Okay, but the uh, Mr. Y will be having a skill that is a leadership quality. So, in that manner, everybody will be having their personal application. So, if you compare with the two people, they will be having a different art. That art has to be developed in the managing the things in the organization. So, for that reason, everything, whatever they will manage, it is based on the knowledge and experience. Next one, based on practice and creativity. See, like art management is based on the practice and creativity. It combines the intelligence and imagination to get the best result. So, for every manager must practice and create, can say, they must show a different way. That is creativity. So, instead of can say instead of practicing the same thing for the long period, or you can say long year, so you can make any creativity when your turns is there. So you have to apply your intelligence and imagination, make it in an innovative way or in a creative way. And also for that you must require a practice. So the manager has to develop a principles of the management where it must be included with the practice and the creativity. So the conclusion for the management as a science, so sorry, management as a art. So you can say it, these all features are existing in the management, so for that reason you can say the management is an art. Second, that is management as a science. So the management as a science you can understand that is a systemized body of the knowledge that explains a certain general truth or the operations of the general laws. So here every situation or every decisions will be analyzed with a application of the science, that is experiment and observation. For every reason or every decision there will be the valid reason why it has to be taken as a I can say a good decision to the organization for the organization betterment. There are some basic features of the science. Those science features will be applicable on the management. First one, systemized body of knowledge. So how the science is systemized body of the knowledge, it has its own theory and principles, and it has been developed over a period of time. Same thing for the management, it is not developed over the period of the time, but a systematic principles are there in the management. Second one, principles based on the experimentation. The principles of management have evolved over a period of time based on repeated experimentation and observation in different types of organizations. Since the management deals with a human being and human behavior, the outcomes of these experiments are not applicable of being actually or accurately predicted or replicated. So these 2 points will say that the principles of management have been evolved over the period of the time. So these principles are based on the experimentation, okay, and observation in different organizations. By the experiment and observations, they have comes to the conclusion that these principles are working. For that reason you can maintain or you can follow in the organization. Okay, so same thing, the since the management deals with the human beings and human behavior, you cannot say that every science and the every principles of management has to follow the same rules and regulations. So according to the situation, according to the conditions, you can change the principles of management on the basis of the modification or the with the help of the managers, or you can take the help of the experts. So therefore the management can be called an inexact science, so you cannot say that it is totally science. Next one, that is universal validity. So since the principles of managements are not an exact as the principles of science, their applications and use is not universal. So it is not compulsory for every organization to use these principles of management compared with the principles of science. So they have to be modified according to the given situations, that which I already explained. So it is not applicable in exact science, so for that reason you can modify according to your condition of the organization. So the conclusion as a management as a science, the management is not exact science like physics, chemistry and mathematics, but it is inexact science as it deals with the human behavior. Therefore, it is a social science. So the conclusion, the main part, that is management as a science, as a art, as therefore not mutually exclusive but complement each other. So here you can say that these two are not similar, that is related, okay, but they are interdependent each other. So for that reason it is complement each other. Next one, that is management as a profession. So professions, we already learned in the last year, that is in the I can say the business. How can you, the economic activity, that is employment, you can conduct the business, so you can be the professionals also. So professionals, I can give the best example, that is CAs or doctors, lawyers. So similarly, how these professionals will be having some features, same features are applicable in some circumstances, not every time. So well defined body of knowledge. All over the world, there is a marked growth in the management as a discipline. It is based on the systematic body of knowledge. So this defines that how these professionals will be having a systemized body of the knowledge. Same thing, the management will be having a same systemized body of the knowledge. So they have to conduct the business, and they have to manage according to the terms and conditions specified in the Companies Act. Restricted entry. So this principle, feature is not applicable for the management, because there is no restrictions on anyone being designated or appointed as a manager in any business enterprise. Anyone can be called as a manager irrespective of the education, qualification possessed. So here this one says that there is no hard and far rules and restrictions to become the manager. Anybody can become a manager to the any business enterprise irrespective of their education qualification. So if you want to become the CA, you must have to complete with the each and every terms and conditions. Then only you can become a CA. And also for the doctors, they have to complete and practice the each and every aspect. Later they can be called as a doctors. But managers or management, you cannot be having this kinds of the qualifications or practices. So it is not, it doesn't have a restricted entry, everybody can enter into the management. Next one, that is professional association. So there are several associations of practicing the managers in the India, like the AIMA, All India Management Association, that has laid down a code of conduct to regulate the activities of their members. So here there are several associations where they will guide the each and every managers regarding code of conduct. Code of conduct is nothing but each and every terms and conditions where you cannot lose your validity, or you can say you cannot have any kinds of the situation that filing the case against anyone. So the code of conduct, in the sense, you can conduct the business in a proper way by satisfying all the stakeholders of the business. So there is no, I can say, there is no hard and rule for, or for rules, or there is no compulsion for the managers to become the member of such an organization. Because for the doctors and the lawyers, they will be having a separate association, so there is a restriction for them to become a member of that particular association. For the managers, there is no restriction to become a member for the any association. Next one, that is ethical code of conduct. So that is the management has some ethics to manage it proper manner, like providing the good quality of product, not to harm the people who involve directly or indirectly, etc. So as we already learned, that is code of conduct and the ethical code of conduct. These are totally similar, where you cannot give a chance to the other third person to file the case against you. So for that reason, you must provide a good quality of the product to the customers, and also the people who involve directly or indirectly to your business, you have to take care of them in a proper way. That is employees, customers, shareholders, and suppliers, directors. So to all you must treat in a proper way. So that will be learned in the as a management as a profession. The last one, that is service motive. The basic purpose of the management is to help the organization achieve its stated goals. So it automatically serves society by providing a good quality products at the reasonable price. So every organizations are existing on the basis of their uh, service purpose. So for that reason, management has to take care of the interest of the organization in a better way, that they have to provide the good quality and good quality of the product to the at the reasonable price, that is MRP. So everybody has to satisfy with the company's rules and regulations and services. So this completes the nature of the management. If you have any doubts, you can reach me. Thank you.